When you hear the word cancer, when you hear the word cancer, hello, y'all. I'm Dianna Brianne. I don't give advice, suggestions, information, recommendations. I just share with you my perspective on different topics, as is with this one. And I hope you like, share, subscribe to all 5 of my channels. The links are pinned to the top of the comment section below. You know, I wanted to come on here and talk about the word cancer because it's a word that we often hear and it's a word that scares many people. And I will just talk about it from my perspective. Like I said, I don't give advice or suggestions or recommendations. I'm just sharing with you my own journey with the word cancer. Okay? Now, I've had people in my life that were diagnosed with cancer. I've had people that have gone that journey. And so I have at times been a part of that journey. I remember one of my first experiences with that word was my stepfather, who was really like my father. He raised me through my teenage years. He was an amazing man. He was just an amazing stepfather. I could never have asked for one better. And he had come to visit in California with my mom, and he left earlier than my mom, and because he was having some back issues, leg issues, a lot of pain, so he went back early. And my mom didn't hear from him for about a week. And so finally she found out he had been in the hospital. For whatever reason, he didn't want to let her know. And so she flew back, she went back, and it was shortly thereafter they had discovered cancer. And it was a very challenging, frightening, difficult time because this is way, many years ago, before all the medical technology and advances had come about like today. We have so many new procedures, new diagnostic tests, new ways of handling that word called cancer. But back then, it was like a death sentence for most people who heard that word. Now, Grandma, she used to tell me, she said, cancer doesn't scare me. She said, people had cancer, as I was growing up, and they lived a full life. And that was in Grandma's day, and that's what she told me. She said, she had a different perspective on cancer. She did not let the word cancer scare her. And she lived to almost 100. And so what I'm saying is everybody handles it differently. Some people are very frightened by it. Other people say, I just don't have time for this, and they have a great sense of humor about it. When I was confronted a few months ago, as you all know, I went through a period of time and I did a lot of videos on it where they thought that there was a possibility that I may have had breast cancer or may have breast cancer at that time. And so I had to wait for, the testing and everything. And I even videotaped myself going for the mammogram and for the ultrasound. And I was so scared because they were so concerned. And I didn't have a lump, but I had what was a gash in my breast, and I talked all about that. And so during that time, maybe it was a couple weeks, I was I don't want to say scared, but I was very concerned. I was very concerned. And when I walked out of there, they said, no cancer, no cancer. And so I was so happy and so excited. But I also understand what it feels like to be in that waiting time and that time of not knowing and then that time of uncertainty and the time of thinking that there's a great possibility of having it. I have someone in my life that's extremely dear to me and that I love with all my heart that is going through their own waiting period and of testing and trying to find out what exactly is going on. Of course, I'm right there for them all the way. It's extremely important to have supportive people and knowledgeable people in our lives. It's important to have the right professionals, and it's important to get the right information. And everyone handles things differently. But I'm just talking about the word itself. The word itself, when people hear the word cancer, it is often a very frightening thought. You know, the possibility of having it, or when a doctor says, you've got cancer. It's you know, shocking. It's like you feel like you're in a dream and you're going to wake up. It's not real. You know, I know going through what I'm going through with this person in my life right now. Initially, we were just absolutely floored and stunned by, you know, the test results. And yet we are believing and we are hopeful, because I totally focus on wellness. I don't focus on sickness. I focus on addressing the issue, both medically and in every other way. And yet I'm a person of faith, that I keep my mind focused on wellness, that you know, we're going to get through this and be well and be healthy, all at the same time, addressing it both medically and, for me, holistically, and eating right and taking care of our bodies and keeping our immune system strong. That's how I address different issues. And I think for anyone, I think even the bravest of person, when they hear that word, cancer, it can be scary. That is the only way I know how to put it. And yet with technology today, technology and modern advancements and the understanding of right nutrition and making right decisions, you know, it is I guess, a disease or a health crisis that is treatable, that people, many people go on to live wonderful, healthy, productive, happy, long, full lives. Let me tell you a little story about a friend of mine, and I've known her for a lot of years. She had gotten breast cancer about 45 years ago. And of course, she had the mastectomy and all that. And then she got it again. And she went through certain procedures. And that was 40 years ago, I think 35 years ago, the last time she's had it. And she has lived an extremely amazing, healthy, productive life, cancer-free. So, you know, there's hope, there's belief. And I believe whether it's cancer, whether it's any other kind of health issue, it's important to stay positive, to keep our faith, surround ourselves with the right professionals, to make right decisions, to have supportive people in our lives, comfort people who will be there for us. They may not be able to solve our problem, but they're there to comfort us. And I believe that keep the faith, keep believing in wellness. And like I said, I believe in wellness. I keep my mind focused on wellness and making all the right choices and decisions. And so I don't let that word or any other words scare me. And because I believe in coming from a position of strength, and coming from a position of knowledge, and coming from a position of surrounding myself with the right people that can help get me through whatever situation I'm going through in life. So I wanted to come on here and just talk a brief moment about this subject. Like I said, I don't give advice, suggestions, information, recommendations, because everyone handles things differently. Everyone's situation is different. And yet I'm just talking about it from my perspective, okay? From my house to yours, may God bless you, and I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye.